Hi, my name is Burleson. After I had the facelift, I had to deal with an open wound on my face, which was pretty traumatic. I had to wear a bandage for several months on my face. That was very, very difficult. I was very self-conscious of it. I haven't worn my hair up in a very long time because the scars on my face and my neck show. And we're trying to treat the scars with Eurothreads.
My patient came to me about 4 months ago or so. I talked to her actually virtually. She had had a facelift and unfortunately had some complications afterwards with skin breakdown, also known as tissue necrosis, and had a lot of scarring afterwards. Initially when I saw her, she actually had a lot of tethering that was really affecting her smile. The patient definitely noticed it. She had scarring on her face. We did a treatment. Lori, who is co-owner of Eurothreads, came down and we treated our patient. I want to say we put in about 200 threads.
Good afternoon, this is Lori Wall, Director of Product Development and Training with Eurothreads. In my years of working with Eurothreads, we have discovered that Eurothreads in the smooth form, and oftentimes in twisted as well, actually there are huge benefits to hypertrophic scarring, super hypertrophic scarring, even keloids, with proper insertion in the multiple depths of scar tissue. It does a beautiful job of bringing blood flow again to areas that have been really without a great deal of blood flow. It brings more of a neutral tone to the skin because of that blood flow.
As far as emotional-wise and going to work-wise and being difficult, before when I was going through the healing process and everything after the facelift, it was very hard. I was a front office person, and I see people and I greet them every day. And I had a bandage on my face. And after that finally healed, then after the Eurothreads, it's smoother, the color was better. I put my makeup on and I felt much more confident.
Unfortunately, with all surgeries, there's always a risk. Whether you're having elective plastic surgery, or you're having, cancer reconstruction or abdominal surgery, there's always a risk of injury. Sometimes what happens is the blood vessels that feed the skin, perhaps in this instance, got injured. And then with the injury, the skin lacked blood flow, and so then it slowly starts to slough off, or called epidermolysis, where the top layer of the skin starts to turn black and kind of die off. And what the surgeon did, which I totally agree with, I'm not a surgeon, I'm a PA, but he went in and I believe debrided that area, which is the right thing to do, because in order for the area to heal, you have to remove the dead, I don't like to use the term dead, but the unhealthy tissue. She did eventually heal, but unfortunately, anytime there is injury to tissue, whether it's in your abdomen, your breast, your face, your leg, the tissue that ends up healing, because they generally do it where they'll allow it to heal basically from the inside out, or from bottom to top, is that tissue tends to be a lot thicker. That's just how your body heals. And so that's part of the reason why she had such bad scarring.
Well, the necrosis, when everything started going bad, was very dark. My skin actually turned black. It was pretty ugly and it was scary. And after it healed, then like I said before, I found a lane and I had some scars that were tight and they showed and hard to cover up. My skin was drawn a little bit because it was so tight. But the procedure I had with the Eurothreads, they explained to me that they would smooth it out. They would help the coloration of the scar and help the blood flow to the skin, because the skin had been damaged because it didn't get enough blood flow during the surgery. So it helps with the smoothness and the texture.
The type of Eurothreads that we chose to use in my patient is PDO threads and various lengths. We use 27 gauge by 70 millimeters. We use 29 gauge by 60 millimeters, 29 gauge 38 millimeters, and that just really depends on how thick the scar tissue is, what we're trying to achieve, which is break up that scar tissue, restore blood flow, help increase the vascularity in the scar, which will then bring in a much more pink color to the skin. Restore, as opposed to right now, it's hypopigmented, meaning it has zero pigment. So we treated both her face as well as behind her ears. The scarring is worse behind the left side of her ear than the right. It is tedious, but also very gratifying. As you continue on with the threads, you can feel the scar tissue start to release. Initially, when you put it in, it may feel like cement, but then it gradually starts to release. It's pretty incredible.